Hi everyone, Monisha here. In this video, I'll be completing the magnetic effect of electric current chapter. The last few topics are there and the most important topic also in this chapter. They are electric motor, uses of electric motor, electromagnetic induction, Fleming's right hand rule and domestic electrical circuits and also AC generator or electric generator. So these are the very important topics which will be appearing for our board exams also for 4 or 3 marks. So please stay till the end and concentrate on the video and all the topics. Let us start the session. Let us learn about electric motor. Electric motor is a device which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Construction. Electric motor has the following 4 main parts: permanent magnet, armature, split rings, and carbon brushes. Let us know about the working. A direct current source is connected between two metallic brushes B1 and B2. When current passes through the coil, it flows in arms CA and DB in the direction perpendicular to the magnetic field. Electric current is sent in a rectangular wire loop placed in a magnetic field. The magnetic field due to electric current in a wire and the magnetic field of the magnet repel each other. This causes a sideways force to be created in the wire. The force causes the wire to turn. This is the simple electric motor circuit, and this diagram is very much important for your board exam, so you need to practice well. This is the simple electric motor. Uses of electric motors: used to turn fans, pumps, compressors, facilitate the circulation of air, water, refrigerant and other fluids. Motors are designed for particular application. The correct motor must always be used. Most motors operate on simple principles. There are few types of electric motors. Electric motors are mainly classified into two types. One is AC motors and the one is DC motors. AC motors means alternating current motors and DC motors means direct current motors. AC motors are further classified into two, that is synchronous and induction. Induction is further classified as single phase and three phase. Direct motors also classified into two. One is separately excited and the one is self-excited. Self-excited has been classified into further three types. One is series, compound and shunt. These are the important types of electric motors. Before moving on to the important topic electric generator, we have to know the difference between ammeter and galvanometer, because these are the instruments used to detect the electric current in a circuit. So what is the difference between ammeter and galvanometer? An ammeter is a measuring instrument used to measure the current in a circuit. Electric currents are measured in amperes. Galvanometer is an instrument for measuring a small electric current or a function of the current by deflection of moving coil. So this is the basic difference of ammeter and galvanometer. So here mainly we have to know what is a galvanometer. So a galvanometer is an instrument that can detect the presence of current in the circuit. The pointer remains at 0, the center of the scale, for 0 current flowing through it. It can deflect either to the left or right of the 0 mark depending on the direction of the current. So if in a circuit there is a presence of current or not is detected by galvanometer, and what amount of current is there in a circuit is detected by ammeter. So this is the basic difference between ammeter and galvanometer. If the current is present or not is calculated by galvanometer and the amount of current is calculated by ammeter. I hope you understood the difference. Electromagnetic induction. In this lesson, we shall learn about electromagnetic induction, direction of motion and direction of the current. The phenomenon of electromagnetic induction can be demonstrated by an experiment. Wind a insulated copper wire on a paper or wooden cylinder so as to form a coil in the form of a solenoid. Connect the two ends of the coil to a galvanometer and place a magnet close to it. The reading of the galvanometer is 0 when the magnet is stationary. The pointer of the galvanometer deflects towards the right when the north pole of the magnet is moved towards the solenoid. The galvanometer shows 0 reading when the motion of the magnet stops. This proves that as long as the magnet keeps moving, current flows in the solenoid. If the magnet is moved away from the solenoid, current flows in opposite direction in the solenoid. Thus, the galvanometer deflects towards the left. The deflection increases if the magnet is moved away with greater velocity. If the polarity of the magnet is reversed and the magnet is brought close to the solenoid, then current flows in opposite direction. The galvanometer accordingly turns towards the left. Faraday observed that current flows in the coil only when there is a relative motion between the coil and the magnet. The direction of deflection in the galvanometer is reversed if the direction of motion is reversed. Factors leading to increased current in the coil. First one, by using a strong magnet. Second one, increasing the motion of the magnet. Third one, increasing the area or the number of turns of the coil. According to Faraday, when there is no relative motion between the magnet and the coil, the magnetic flux within the coil remains constant. So the galvanometer shows no deflection. But when the magnet is moved towards the coil or vice versa, the magnetic flux changes and an EMF, that is electromotive force, is induced in the coil. If the circuit is complete, the EMF causes current to flow through it. Position of the magnet and deflection in the galvanometer. Magnet at rest, no deflection in the galvanometer. Magnet moves towards the coil, then the deflection will be outwards. Faraday's laws of induction. Whenever there is a change in the coil, magnetic flux linked with the coil and electromagnetic force. Factors affecting the magnetic field, changing magnetic flux and time in which the flux changes. The direction of the induced EMF depends on whether there is an increase or decrease in the magnetic flux. John Ambrose Fleming gave two rules to determine the direction of motion or the direction of induced current. While the left-hand rule is for electric motor, the right-hand rule is for generator. According to Fleming's right-hand rule, if the thumb, the forefinger and the middle finger of right hand are stretched perpendicular to each other, then the thumb finger represents the direction of the movement of the conductor. The forefinger represents the direction of magnetic field and the middle finger represents the direction of induced current. Lenz's law states that the direction of induced EMF is such that it always tends to oppose the cause which producing it. Lenz's law obeys Newton's third law of motion, which states that to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. It also obeys law of conservation of energy. It states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Therefore, the sum of all the energies in the system is a constant. Lenz's law is based on Faraday's laws of induction. Lenz's law states that when an EMF is generated by the change in magnetic flux, according to Faraday's law, The polarity of the induced EMF is such that it produces current whose magnetic field opposes the change which produces it. So it will take a minus sign. Summary. AC generator. Today, electricity has become an important part of life. At home, we need it to run appliances like electric bulb, television, refrigerator, fan, etc. And in the industries, it is used to run different types of machines. An AC generator is used to generate electricity in various power stations such as nuclear power plant, thermal power plant, hydroelectric power plant. However, an AC generator can also be seen at home, which is used during power outages to keep the appliances like fan, refrigerator, etc. working until the power is restored. Let us understand how an AC generator produces electricity. An AC generator is a device used to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. It was originally designed by the famous physicist Nikola Tesla. Working of AC generator is based on the principle of electromagnetic induction. According to this principle, a change in flux linked to the coil induces electric current in the coil. The direction of the induced current in the coil can be given by Fleming's right-hand rule. Lenz's law can also be used to find the direction of current. Let us now see the construction of AC generator. An AC generator consists of field magnets and armature, two slip rings, the two carbon brushes. The poles of the field magnet are concave and cylindrical in shape and therefore produces radial magnetic field. Armature is a soft iron core on which the coil have a large number of turns of copper wire is wrapped. The two ends of the armature are attached to two slip rings. The rings rotate with the coil. The slip rings are made of metal and insulated from each other. Two brushes are made of carbon. One end of each brush is in contact with rotating slip rings and the other end is connected to the outer circuit. A galvanometer is connected in the outer circuit to show the deflection. Due to current induced in the armature, when the coil is rotated between the pole pieces, the current is induced in the coil. The induced current is shown by the deflection of the galvanometer. Shows that the induced current is alternating. Now, let us see the working of AC generator. The armature keeps on changing its relative position with respect to the magnetic field. As it rotates about at the axis perpendicular to the field, therefore the flux linked with the coil keeps on changing with time. As a result, an EMF is induced. This in turn induces the electric current in the coil as the two ends of the armature are connected to an external circuit. An electric current starts flowing through it. The current is detected by the galvanometer connected in the external circuit. Due to change in relative position of the armature coil, the direction of the current flowing in each arm of the armature coil keeps on changing and hence the current so obtained is alternating current. To understand the generation of the alternating current more clearly, let us mark one arm of the armature with green and the other arm as pink. As per Fleming's right-hand rule, the direction of the current in the arm marked as green is outward and in the arm marked as pink is inward. After rotating half turn in anti-clockwise direction, the direction of the current in green arm becomes inward and that in the pink becomes outward. Thus, after every half rotation, the direction of the current changes and as a result, alternating current is generated. If we plot a graph between the induced EMF and time, we will observe an induced EMF shows sinusoidal behavior. I hope you understood the explanation of AC generator. Domestic electric circuits. The supply from which we receive the current for our houses is called as mains. The mains are connected to the power meter from which they are connected to the wires of the house. The types of wires involved in the current supply are as follows. One of the wires is called as positive or live. This is usually insulated in red. The other one is called as neutral or negative. This is usually insulated in black. The electrical appliances where metallic or high conducting exteriors accumulates static charge over time when they are switched on. If a neutral body comes in contact with the exterior of such objects, they lose their charge. So, if we touch such objects, we might get electrocuted. To avoid that, a third wire called as ground is taken from the object and the other end is connected to a large object like Earth. The Earth being so large that it can absorb large quantities of charge, thus making exterior of object neutral and safer. If we connect the supply to the appliances in series, there will be potential drop across each of them. And after few connections, there may not be enough potential for other appliances. To avoid this, the electrical appliances are connected to the connections from the main in parallel. This ensures that all of them receive same voltage of current. One of the measures done to improvise the safety of the circuit is a usage of fuse. The fuse is a thin conducting wire usually enclosed in porcelain. The fuse is connected between the mains and the electrical components. If a very high power tries to pass through the fuse wire gets heated and eventually melts and breaks itself, thereby breaking the passage between the high power tool to the electric appliances, which would otherwise get damaged. I hope you understood. So this was the last episode of magnetic effect of electric current. By this, the physics chapter is complete. If you have any doubts, queries or suggestions, please comment me on the comment section below. And also about the videos also, you can comment me. Thanks a lot.